So, go see the new Evil Dead movie. I believe it's called Burn. Um, just got back from it and literally feel like I just got out of a fight. Um, this thing is on a whole new level of horror movies. I would even call it like adrenaline horror. I'm an old Gen Xer, I'm dyed in the wool. Nothing phases me. I was raised on Jason and Freddy, and I've been watching horror movies pretty much all my life. If you look at my algorithm on any of the subscription channels, it's horror movie, horror movie, horror movie, horror movie. But I'm really desensitized to this stuff by now. But every once in a while, something will come along, and it's yeah, that was good. I would probably rate some of my favorite horror movies as like The Exorcist, and I like the Conjuring series. Some of them a little off, but for the most part, I really liked them. And I watched The Evil Dead back when I was in high school, freshman, sophomore, and it was awesome. And I've always kind of been a big fan of the franchise, but I literally just came back from the movies, just pulled in, and I'm not a video guy. I don't make videos for YouTube, but I wanted to tell you guys, you owe it to yourself, if you call yourself a horror fan, to go to the movies and see this. There's an experience you get at the movies that you don't get at home. If you're sitting around with your old lady and you're watching a really good movie and you're all pumped up and excited about it, and you look over and they're asleep, it takes some of the magic away. But in the theater, you feed off of other people. And with what I just saw, I literally feel like I came out of a fight, because it was nonstop, just hammer, hammer, hammer through the whole thing. And I've never experienced anything like it. Like I say, this puts horror movies into a whole new category. I don't have any other words for it except for like adrenaline horror. It's just, I don't want to give any, spoilers away or anything like that, but I want to go see it again in a week or two and talk to you guys about this and get your input on it, because I don't know that I've ever seen a horror movie like it. It was, the casting was great, the directing was great, the cinematography. There was some camera tricks that I would compare with like Jaws. Whenever Officer Brody's sitting at the beach and the camera zooms into him, and it's, you've really never seen anything like that, but it creates this kind of weird sense. And there was a couple of scenes in this, it wasn't the Brody scene, but it was like that. You just got this feeling like, oh, that's cool. But no, you owe it to yourself to see this in a theater. It's magic. Every once in a while, I like going to the movies. I'm an old Star Wars fan. I hate what Disney did to it, but that's a whole other story. I like tech movies and war movies, but horror is my big thing. And I've been so desensitized to just about everything. But man, I can't put into words how happy I am that I got to see something like this in the theater. And I'm nobody on YouTube or anything else. I'm not getting anything for bragging this movie up. Don't be a guy that waits for this one to come out on streaming services or pirate it. Go to the theater and see this with other people, because it's fun just to look out and watch people being terrified again. And there's a couple of situations in the movie where, you know, there was a few laughs and you just went from these extreme emotions and you could feel it in the theater. It's been a long time since I've had anything or felt anything like that in the theater, and I can't tell you how much I loved it. So like I say, I'm anxious to go see it again in a week or two, and I'd like to make another video. If you guys watch this and want to comment on it and talk about it with me, I would love to get some input from some other horror fans, because this was right up there with, I'm just going to say, it's my favorite horror film of all time. And that is a big statement. They've raised the bar to a completely new level on this. You know, there was one scene that, and you'll know the scene I'm talking about when you go see this, that it was hard to watch. My old lady was with me and she couldn't watch it. She knew what was getting ready to come, and she completely turned away. And it was just like, it kind of reminded me of like when Psycho came out and the shower scene. Back then, no one was prepared for what you saw. And it started this whole thing where, you know, the gore got worse and worse and worse, but this takes it to a completely new level. If you don't come out of there feeling like you've just been punched and punched and punched, there's something wrong with you, because I don't get that anymore. And this gave it back to me, and I'm so happy. The theater is about an hour. We live in a small town in Missouri, and the theater we went to see it at is about an hour from here. And we talked about it all the way back, like just one scene after another, and it's good to feel this way again. Hollywood, keep this up. It's like I feel proud of you guys for making something like this, even if it's extreme. But it gives me hope, because there's been so much just garbage come out. Absolute trash. This new Supergirl movie. Holy cow. I'm not even going to see it. But anyway, do yourself a favor and go see this movie as soon as possible before someone spoils a bunch of it for you. And let me know what you think.